be committed to your studies as much as your practice and your games, because no one's going to walk you to class. No one's going to do all that for you, and I think some people don't realize like how hard it is, and baseball players, and plus I think we talked about this before too, with how much strategy is involved in baseball and how smart. I mean, those players are smart.
Oh yeah,
they're smart.
Actually, in any sport, you have to be a true student. I mean, you have to be able to think on your feet. You have to be able to make quick decisions, and it's the same thing that you learn in the classroom. If you're not able to think in a quick and decisive manner, you're not going to be a good athlete. And I don't care what sport you're talking about. You can game plan out a football game or whatever, but there's still things that you have to be able to react to on a split second.
No, and you're so true, so true. What position did you play in baseball?
I was a catcher.
You were a catcher.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, they say the catchers make the greatest managers too.
Well,
outfielders, they're not coaches at all.
No, catchers see the whole game. They see everything.
The game. That's right.
So, you were a catcher, but do you feel really comfortable at coaching the whole team, every position?
Well,
do you have other coaches that specialize in positions?
I was kidding, trying to poke a little fun at Coach Cook over there, but truly a catcher really does. They have to have a full understanding when you're doing scouting reports. The catchers and the pitchers sit down, they talk about hitters' tendencies. You have to understand your pitchers and what their tendencies are. And truly, you do see the entire field. I mean, they say that catcher's the field general. And the reason behind that is, it's truly, you've gone through all the scouting reports. You understand the tendencies that hitters are, and you have to relay those to the field players. So, and as calling pitches, or if you've got a coach that's calling pitches for you, you still know what the pitcher's doing and how that relates to the hitter's tendencies, which thereby you got to be able to direct the field players. I mean, there's a lot going on. And when I have kids talk to me, non-baseball people say, they go watch a game that's boring. I said, you don't understand all the things that are going on behind the scenes. And sit with me for 5 minutes, all of a sudden they start talking about, this is a little bit different game than what I was anticipating.
That's actually exactly what I had gotten into this conversation with this woman who said baseball was one of the easiest sports. It was just 3 up, 3 out, whatever. And I was like, she said there was no strategy, and that's what kind of was a big running joke. But I'll tell you, as a catcher too, I mean, that's probably not the most glamorous position, and it's probably the most important besides a pitcher. I mean, I'm sure other people would beg to differ, but it's really, really an important position. You can't be scared. You have to, it could be pretty hard on your body, and
I'll tell you, the best way I can describe that is, as a catcher, everybody talks about the thrill you get when you hit a home run, or the thrill you hit when you hit the ball in the gap and get a double or whatever. As a catcher, if you think about the number of times that you block balls and keep a runner from advancing a base, to me that's almost an RBI in reverse. When you're able to do things, throw a guy out at second base, keep a guy from going into scoring position, that's almost as good as hitting a home run. If you ask a catcher today if they would rather hit a home run or throw a guy out stealing, the odds are, I'm going to tell you, they'd rather throw a guy out stealing.
Okay, so the question of, I don't think I've asked you this before, but so do you think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame?
Without a doubt. And I was very fortunate in my younger years. I actually had an opportunity to be around Pete Rose when he was with the Philadelphia Phillies. And I don't even know if RB knows this, but I literally was in spring training when Pete Rose was there back in 1980. And there is not a guy who is more dedicated to the game. Now I haven't been around him in 25 years, but truly, when you saw him in the locker room, the effect that he had on the players around him, and the players around him, were the likes of Steve Carlton, Bob Boone, Larry Bowman, guys. Steve Carlton's a Hall of Fame, and there is no doubt, irregardless of what happened, that his performance on the field, he doesn't deserve the right to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, I agree, and RB, I'm sure. No, I just wanted to see what a catcher thought, so I was like just wondering.
There's absolutely no doubt in the world that I totally agree with you. I can't stand Pete Rose. I cannot stand. Pete Rose was a Cincinnati Red. He beat my Yankees. He was part of beating my Yankees with the Big Red Machine. Can't stand him. On a personal level, never met him, obviously. But that man, on the baseball field, did things that he never should have been able to do. He was not that talented.
No, he just was a pure.
But he worked hard.
Love of the game.
Absolutely.
Stick his nose in the dirt and go out and get the job.
When you talk about practice like you're going to play, and all coaches in any sport have always said it. When you talk about that, when you talk about playing hard, when you talk about love of the game, when you talk about everything about that, Pete Rose did every part of it. Did Pete Rose mess up?
Oh, yeah.
He messed up.
Without a doubt.
But you know what? Steve Howe got suspended from baseball 7 times for drugs.
Yep.
Lawrence Taylor got suspended and got caught and everything else from the NFL and got suspended over and over again. All these other guys who did drugs and got arrested and did this and
beat up their wives,
leave
their kids. I totally agree, RB.
And you've got a guy who is not in the Hall of Fame because of what he did post-career.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of that, too, I believe, and I don't know this for a fact, but I'm sure that the higher-ups in the baseball commissioner's office, Pete probably stepped on a lot of guys' toes. He's not one to mix words. I mean, even today, I saw an interview with him just recently about when no one was elected into the Hall of Fame at the last ballot. And, he's still very cocky, arrogant, just like the way he played. But, that's what made him great. And
his son was just like him, too.
Oh, yeah.
His son is cut right out of him. Because his son, and the funny thing about it is that his son played something like 16 years in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And got a cup of coffee in the major leagues with the Reds because they finally felt bad enough to bring his kid up.
That's right.
And he failed miserably. But the thing about it, his son got like a 16-year pro playing career because of the fact that he was just like his father, not even half as talented as his father, but he worked his tail off. And the thing about it is, I look at guys like that, and I say to my daughter and other kids, and my daughter wants to, my daughter's passion is bowling. And she's getting really good at it, but she's never made it her passion until, say, the last 12 months.
Right.
So she's behind the curve a little bit compared to some other kids that she bowls in leagues with. Well, you know what? My daughter, and I couldn't be more proud of her, my daughter bowled in her first All-Star event this weekend and went out and won it.
Terrific.
She went out and won the event
right.
and beat kids not only from the center that she bowls in right down Atlantic Carolina Lanes, but kids all over the place that we went to University Lanes and she bowled against. And these kids are averaging way higher than her. After her first game, she was so mad, and I'm trying to figure out why she's mad. And she didn't bowl the first game, but during the middle of the first game, the score sheets came out. And it showed everybody's, on her pair of lanes, everybody's handicap.
Right.
Well, her handicap was higher than everybody else because her average was lower than everybody else. But she got mad because she saw how much handicap she was getting. I said, use that. Now, the guy who runs her junior bowling league came over and said, go out and kick everybody's butt and use that to your advantage.
That's right.
That's right. She bowled her worst game of the day in the first game. It was a 6-game tournament. And at the end of the first game, I looked at her and I said, you know what? You can do one of two things. You can sit here and pout and be miserable and bowl awful all day long. Or you can go out and win this tournament. And I said, I'm banking you're going to win this tournament. Right. She looked at me and she goes, yeah, right. Well, she happened to go out for the next 5 games and bowl the next 5 games 30 pins above her average or more every game, and from the second game on through the sixth game, she was in first place the rest of the day.
See,
nobody could catch her.
And isn't it nice to see that you have that kind of drive? I mean, that's what when we're coaching, that's what we're trying to instill in a lot of these young men is, go out, whether it's playing baseball, bowling, whether it's in the workforce, you go out and have the drive to be successful. Now, if you have that kind of drive, no matter what you do in life, you're going to be a success.
You're right. You were 100% right. And that's the biggest thing, because like I said, I was good. I'm not bragging. I was good at every sport I played. I didn't play the sports I knew I was going to be bad at. Soccer, I'm a fat kid. I ain't running around playing soccer. Playing baseball, basketball. I was a gunner in basketball, dude. I mean, my motto in basketball, I'll tell you right now, my motto in basketball, if you pass it to me, you ain't getting it back. I'm shooting it. I'll pass it once, but if you give it back to me, that's your fault. But, I was good at a lot of sports. My two best sports were golf and bowling. And I tell my daughter all the time, and I tell kids all the time, I try to help them out at the bowling alley. I tell them all the time, drive. It's drive. You want to be good? Hook shot Charlie C. We'll have him on. He'll talk about it. Charlie, you got a mic in your hand. It's drive.
Yeah. Y'all hit on a couple of things. One of the things that I heard earlier is that when you work hard, you're dedicated to the sport. This transfers over, and that's what you tell kids. You can carry this to any job, any career. All it is just dedication, work, and I truly believe you'll get what you put into it. And I think a lot of times, the name of the game, you got to win. But sometimes winning is important. But the thing about it is, it's playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. Respect the guys you play for. And I guarantee you, any team that you play against, any players that you play against, they'll respect you. And you'll see these people in your life, if you're in this area. But the thing is, this thing can take you wherever you want to take you, not just in sports. It can take you some places. And I'm a witness to that, because I never knew that what I was doing 15, 20, 25 years ago would take me where it's taking me now. And now I'm starting to reach back and use those things to my advantage. Not to use anybody, but use them to my advantage. So one thing I want to say about the young kids, and y'all were talking about this earlier about the baseball, is that I think sometimes we forget all this time these coaches, these mentors put into these kids. And then when we hear these parents, when you were talking about parents earlier, then when we hear these parents hashing these coaches, doing it. It's a lot of parents that are grateful, but I would love to see, and I think there's some out there, some programs for the parents, just for the parents, especially the young kids. I am so fed up with some of these leagues that these parents, they make it so bad for the kids, and these kids, those are their parents, and that's who they're looking up to. But I would love to see some kind of program for the parents.
I couldn't agree more. You know what? Johnny's not going to the NFL, okay? So get it out of your mind. But he could if you shut up. If you as a parent would just stop, let the coaches who put in their time, like Coach Stu Brown, like Brian Bunn, like Daniel Cook, like Steve Bauckham, like any person that we could run in and out of this place, let them coach. Let them have their time with your child. Because you're not coaching. You're sitting there criticizing them. Let them have their time.
Well, if I could, just to piggyback on what the coach said, the one thing I try to instill in the kids that we talk about is, winning is important. If anybody's been around me, it doesn't, there's not anything I dislike more than not winning. But what I tell the kids is, and when I say kids, I'm dealing with young men. But I say, if you can put your head on the pillow, and that's the time that only you can be true to yourself, and you say you gave it your all, then tip your hat to the team that just beat you. If when you lay your head on the pillow and you say, well, you know what, I didn't give it my all, I could have done this or I could have done that, then you owe it to your teammates who did give it their all to do that much better the next day. And that's the joy of competing. You're going to win, you're going to lose. But if you truly can say to yourself, I did the best I could do, whether it's on the baseball field, the basketball court, or in corporate America, then you're going to be successful. You know, and to piggyback again on what you're talking about with the parents, just to share a little story with you. This is about 5-6 years ago. We held a clinic for parents, and I was fortunate enough to get some. You know, a guy that I used to play for was named to the Olympic baseball coaching staff. We got him down. He's now the head coach up at Davidson College. We got him